The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of listing for restrictive content found within the game's description on Steam. From what I've played so far, while it is a aircraft combat game, there isn't really any blood or gore, even though there is violence and the fact that you're basically shooting down various aircraft and ground installations. So, were I to guess, if it were to have been given an ESRB rating, I would assume that it would be rated T for teen. However, that is just my opinion and uneducated assumption. So that being said, I would assume anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Project Wingman. The premise of Project Wingman is that you are a mercenary fighter pilot, and it's in a parallel Earth. It's just that the Earth of old, or at least the Earth that we know of it, no longer exists because some 200 some odd years before, prior to the game's events, a celestial body, I believe it was an asteroid, actually impacted the planet Earth and caused massive devastation, basically a near its extinction level event, which is what you would expect from an asteroid of apparently the size that hit. I don't think that makes any sense, but it's backstory, so moot point. But it's important to the game in that the asteroid brought a new energy source to the planet Earth. I don't exactly remember what it is. I want to say it's called corundum, but that's an actual metal, not the power source. But I want to say it sounds similar, and I know that it begins with a C. I'll probably find out sooner or later as I play through the game. But the reason why that is important to the game is because in addition to that, as well as a bounty of natural geothermal energy, one country in the area that used to be Western Canada is fighting for its independence from an international organization known as the Federation, which is a conglomerate of Pacific countries that want Cascadia. That's the name of the Western Canadian country that you're currently operating in. But anyway, the Federation wanted Cascadia's natural resources. And Cascadia originally was fine with it so long as the Federation used it for peaceful means. The Federation did not use it for peaceful means, so Cascadia decided to leave their agreement, and the Federation said, okay, fine. Your stuff is now our stuff. And they invaded, and Cascadia put out a call for mercenaries, of which your mercenary company signed on with, and done a lot of rescue missions in the form of Cascadian forces are being bulldozed by the Federation, and I have to go and save them. And sometimes I manage to save them. Other times there's a forced evacuation of the capital, and I have to play it twice because I accidentally flew into a flying battleship, or air cruiser as they're called. But that's so far the gist of what's been going on. So I don't really know where the story is going to go, although I would assume that if it follows any sort of normalcy in regards to how these campaigns generally go about, what remains of the Cascadian Defense Forces are going to be kept on the back foot by the Federation up until some sort of major critical climactic battle, which your character and the mercenary company that he's a part of no doubt takes a major role in. And after winning that, it's the Federation that loses momentum, steam, gets put on the back foot, fill in the blank terminology that you wish, and it's the Cascadian defensive forces that gain superiority and manage to win the day. Well, that's how usually these storylines go. Periodically, there is the occasional exception, and I don't know if that's going to be happening here, but I'll find out. And as such, this game is, of course, made by. Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin.
Alright, so if you haven't seen any of the prior episodes of this game that I've done before, you go to the main menu and there's two options. Conquest, which is a roguelike territory conquest area where you can complete various objectives on various maps and gain funding and points and other resources, which allow you to build up a massive fleet of airplanes and other air combat vessels, as well as upgrade new fighters for your own usage. And if you die, you basically have to start over from the very beginning. Although I do believe you get to keep your unlocked planes. And then there's the storyline campaign, which is what I've been playing on camera. So let's continue on with that. And if we hit resume, we should continue. Alright, so Machine of the Mental.
The Federation's interest in Cascadia has always been clear. It's as clear today as it was when we went into an association with them over half a century ago. Power. Our cordium deposits has made Cascadia an interest of the core Federation states perpetually, and because of that, we know exactly how to fight back. Even though we've lost many key territories as Federation forces land in country, we have a plan on how to cripple their advances and make them reevaluate their entire purpose here.
Mercenary forces throughout Cascadia are being tasked to attack geothermal processing and storage facilities as the Allied main force maintains our front line. By striking these targets, the Federation will have to direct forces otherwise concentrated on the front line to defending these key resource points. Hitman Team, Sicario, will be tasked to hit separate facilities in the Yellowstone exclusion zone. Your area of operation will be one of the main storage facilities along the Apodoc fracture. Fly in, destroy as much of the facility as you can, and RTB before reinforcements respond en masse. It's suggested that you bring a well-rounded loadout on this one. Once the Federation knows what we're doing, they're going to be retaliating hard.
Okay, so cordium is the weird space age power source material I mentioned before. I couldn't remember its name and thought it was corundum, but I knew for a fact it wasn't. So that's its name, and it looks like for this mission we have to fly into, well, as close to the Yellowstone exclusion zone as possible. And if you don't know what Yellowstone is, it's a natural park in the middle of the United States, made famous by its geysers, mostly Old Faithful, which personally was more hype than it actually was worth, but that's my own personal opinion. And if you wish to judge for yourself, feel free to go visit the actual Yellowstone National Park and see for yourself. But another thing that Yellowstone is what's known as a supervolcano, which if you've ever been to Hawaii, which I technically have not, or even mid-Europe or anywhere along the so-called Ring of Fire, which forms a circumference around the Pacific Ocean, a volcano is basically a large hole down from the surface of the Earth to the mantle, and the mantle is under extreme pressure, and it being liquid, the liquid rock that it is, any release of the pressure will send it spewing forth, and it goes straight from the mantle to the surface, which is essentially what a volcano is. And Yellowstone National Park is essentially a supermassive one of these. And while people will think it funny to see an entire volcano explode, if Yellowstone explodes, we're talking extinction level event. And while I haven't really dug deep into the attendant backstory files for this game, I'm assuming one of the things that the asteroid did when it hit was to set off the Yellowstone volcano, which caused a massive pile of destruction, which is why instead of it being Yellowstone National Park, the natural wonder that it is, it's the Yellowstone Containment Zone and void of almost all life. So that's about as much as I recall reading from that. And it looks like that we have to go here and basically blow a large pile of energy infrastructure up. I guess the Cascadian defensive forces realize that, the Federation are here for the energy resources of Cascadia. If Cascadia doesn't have those said energy resources, or at least they're not easily accessible to the Federation, then the Federation will leave. And they probably will, they probably won't. That's another issue for not right now. It is kind of, I guess, a cut off one's nose to spite their face type deal, because anything that the Cascadians blow up in order to drive the Federation out is just one more thing that the Cascadians will have to rebuild. And at this point, it could be the lesser of two evils, but we'll see how it goes. So mixed feelings there, but if I'm looking at the map, it's going to be a mixture of air and ground targets, but there's going to be more ground targets than air targets. So I want a plane that can ferry both a large number of anti-ground missiles, and I think I pressed the wrong button. Nope, I'm at the hangar. But anyway, as I was saying, a large quantity of anti-ground missiles and some sort of anti-air missile as well. Which, if I look at the SK-25U, is not one of those. There's also the MiG-31, but it's designed more for anti-air combat. I do also now have access to the FD-14, which has a whole bunch of anti-air missiles as well as unguided bombs, as well as high-impact standard missiles and high-velocity standard missiles. But as I said, there's going to be more ground targets than air targets, so while the MLAAs, or multi-lock anti-air missiles, are probably going to be useful, I should probably look more for multi-lock anti-ground, because every plane that you fly has access to a whole pile of standard missiles which can be used against anything. Of course, the high-impact standard missiles, or the high-velocity standard missiles, can be used against anything as well. Those two are just basically standard missiles, just one does more damage for slower speed, the other is a faster missile but does less damage. There's also the MiG-29, which actually is probably the plane I want to fly, because in the first tier I can get the more extra standard missiles, as well as either or LAMMs, which I can also get in slot 2. And in slot 3 I can get more multi-lock anti-air, but I also can get 2 different variants of multi-lock anti-ground. The standard multi-lock anti-ground and the multi-lock anti-ground Mark II, which, while I initially thought was just a higher quality missile, I think it's just basically a higher quantity missile, as each missile rack fires 2 missiles instead of 1. Unfortunately, it appears that I don't actually have enough funds for either of these planes, because I'm looking at the credit account that I have of 25,030, and it looks like I need 36,500 to unlock the MiG-29 and 34,000 to unlock the FD-14. So I guess I'm not taking any shiny new planes, which is a shame, because I would have taken the MiG-29. I mean, what I could do is play old missions to rake up more cash, but to be fair, I've already filmed all the prior missions, and I don't feel like running through them again on camera, so I mean, I guess I take the SK-25U. I mean, I guess I could also take the CR-105, but I think that's the plane that I took one look at and decided that I hate it with a violent passion, because it has this large metal bar right in front of your face, making it very hard to see things. Plus, it doesn't have any guided anti-ground munitions, which the F-16 actually does, although it only has 2 weapon slots. So I guess I'm taking the FC-16. Alright, so the first weapon slot will be the MLAG, because it's the only slot that can handle the MLAGs, whereas the second slot will be the MLAAs. And then for module selection, it's always going to be flares, because as far as I know, there's no second module. There's also no third weapon slot, so this is basically it. So let's go. And all I gotta do is remember how to fly. Of course, why would you?
Let's get rambling. Anything and everything is free for the taking.
Alright, so as they say, it's free real estate, although it's technically not, because we're going to blow everything up.
We're getting reports from power plants up and down Cascadia. Small flights of aircraft slipping past our front line and hitting the geothermal industry. Tell them for stretching the front line so far. No one will slip through it.
Missiles away. Alright, I took a hit. That's a missile. Was a missile. Maybe I should have taken unguided bombs. There's a lot of stuff here. Of course, I do need to make certain I don't fly into the ground or, you know, buildings. swing back around because I am dangerously close to the ground.
Heads up.
You know,
QRF has arrived. Fast movers. Now it's a fight. Copy. This thing's a scratch. Turning to intercept.
Alright, so where are the...
Galaxy, time for the other raids? Well, you're definitely causing the most chaos out of all of them. Council spotters pulled out after hitting their threshold, and Assassin is still on station. Our pilots are also calling it some success. That's what I like to hear. Let's go for gold. We're on an angle.
Alright, so let's go up, and I should probably wait for my missiles to reload. So what I'm hearing is blow up the tanks. Got it.
If you are combat effective against air units, start evacuating. No need to get killed like this. Ground target destroyed.
That's a lot of anti-air units.
Hitting their own resources. Because we're using it right now.
That one guy's smart. Okay, so those missiles missed. One plane down. Missile away, and I have a missile on me. Was a missile on me. Apparently I missed something.
I see the mark. The rolls in that crown. Send it up the line. It's that HVT we've been hearing so much about. Good stuff, Hitman. Operations up and down the fracture are reporting similar successes. Keep hammering them till we pull out. Dump boosters and the neutralizer agent into the point points. Hitman, we sent that much. We don't know how long it'll take to get cordium production back up. Unless this fracture created an exclusion zone.
Alright, I feel like that there was a conversation I had missed.
Missile shot off. Ground target destroyed.
Alright, so that's it for...
Monarch, you're locked on.
ground targets for this area, so I guess we move on to the next area past that. Angle's bad for the missiles for here.
Fox 2, good separation.
Nope, other way. You're dead. Where are you? There you are. Alright, get to the sun. I'd like to. Where are you? And you're dead. Moving on. Alright, so there's a SAM site right there. Was a SAM site right there.
Hitman 1
away. And just checking inventory for weapons. As I fly clean past the SAM I wanted to hit. Come on.
Within gun range. Monarch, good luck.
So away.
Ground
And you're gone.
destroyed.
Next. You're dead. There's just like this trail of SAMs leading from one
Monarch was a shot.
factory to the other.
Ground asset destroyed.
Alright, so next up is a large pile of stuff.
Hitman 1 locked on.
Oh, an air cruiser, okay.
Range.
Almost flew into that one again.
Stacked up.
And you're dead. Missile alert. So I'm guessing this is Yellowstone in the current day.
Keep him guessing. You're in gun range.
Yeah, that's what has me worried because I keep getting closer and closer to the target and I keep getting, well, whacked. I wouldn't say whacked, but I still haven't forgotten last mission where I basically flew into one of those.
In gun range.
Get into the sun.
Incoming missile.
That's a lot of missiles. I'll actually use flares for that. Now, if I was smart, I wouldn't waste time playing with this guy and just use missiles. But he's dead.
Shut down.
That's a hit.
Incoming missile. Chink.
So flares are for. Another one down. You know, I know the targets are actually, the objectives are actually the ground targets, and I'm basically chasing down planes, but I'm not the only one currently in this theater, and truth be told, if all the planes are trying to hunt me down, that means that they aren't chasing after my friends, which leaves them free to actually fight the base.
Fast mover out of action.
And if all else fails, I do still have anti-ground missiles. Also have plenty of anti-air missiles too.
Hitman 1, missile tracking, evade.
It's a very bad day.
Monarch Fox 2.
I mean, that works.
Enemy's got a bead on you, Monarch.
Okay, that was my fault. That missile hit. Alright, I only have 8 more multi-lock anti-air missiles, so let's stick with standards. And that's a SAM set, I'm guessing. Yep. And those are now gone. Yeah, well, I'm right above this thing, so take out these SAMs. Go basically straight up, well not really straight up, but slightly higher because apparently the standard missiles missed. So I have to, I guess, hit from above, find the target, there we are. It's still a miss, so I'm guessing whatever this thing is, it requires a whole lot more ordnance than what I'm able to use, hit with using standard missiles. use anti-ground missiles. And whatever it is that's inside this thing. So I'm guessing if I want to kill it, I'm going to have to do something really stupid and fly close to the ground through whatever the heck that thing is.
Monarch ready to fire.
Yeah, this large black thing. And if I was in a helicopter, it'd be an easy thing. But I'm not. In fact, I'm in a fixed wing that, in order to actually take off, needs to be traveling at over 400 meters per second, whatever the speed units actually are. So I'm going to do something stupid and fly inside. And we're actually through. I did not actually expect to survive that, I have to admit. Took some hits on the aircraft, but I'll live.
Monarch, you've been hit. Status report.
I guess I won't live anymore.
Missile is tracking.
That was a miss. Don't tell me I have to do this over again. I wasn't certain I could complete it the first time, and now I apparently got to do it again.
Enemy's getting radar lock. Missile shot off.
Or, you know, I could just wait until I fly past the obstructions and then fire it off real quickly. In the meantime, there's a plane out here.
Missile is on the way.
And the plane's now gone. And you go away. Cannot see, and I figured that would happen as I fly into whatever this thing is. Alright, so let's retry. And rather than trying to fly through that thing where I'm assuming the heat is actually melting the aircraft, let's see if we can line up directly at the entrance from far enough away that can just fling the missiles in.
Range. You're on the clock, so make it snappy. Don't rush perfection, Galaxy, especially when all you have to do is sit back and watch. Hey, babysitting is easy money. I'm not complaining. All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling. Anything and everything is free for the taking. Moving to engage. We're getting reports from power plants up and down Cascadia. Small flights of aircraft slipping past our front line and hitting the geothermal industry. Tell them for stretching the front line so far. The level slipped through.
Now, what are these? Oh, that's
Cordium we're pumping inside our coast right now. They're paying us. It's harder to create than it is to destroy, Hitman 2.
Alright, part of me thinks maybe I should have brought unguided bombs. Oh, that's a big boom.
Now it's a fight. Copy. This base is scratched. Turn intercept.
Oh, that's the ground. That's more ground. It's not hit ground.
Well, you're definitely causing the most chaos out of all of them. Council Squadron is pulled out after hitting their threshold, and Assassin is still on station. Other merc pilots are also calling in some success. That's what I like to hear. Let's go for gold. I'm engaging.
I'm sure you are.
Start dropping the pressure on the conduits. If the tanks go off, we need to make sure we are cooking bombs. If you are combat effective against air units, start evacuating. No need to get killed like this. Why are the rebels hitting their own resources? Because we're using it right now. Engage down unit knocked out. Dispatch of the inner cordium to secure container space set. Follow the procedures. We're under attack! 20-point lists are kinda hard to read while we're being bombed. Well, missile away. I see him.
Come on.
The back. The rolls in that crowd. We've been hearing so much about.
I think I shot that guy with cannons while avoiding a missile.
Up and down the fracture, reporting similar successes. Keep hammering them till we blow out. Dump boosters and the neutralize agent into the pipelines. We insert that much. We don't know how long it'll take to get cordium production back up. Unless this fracture created an exclusion zone, it's taking place so the Federation can be. Begin process. Hard lock, let it fly. Gunfire! Arrangement still standing? Arrangement? Are you three making deals without my cut? Don't get your panties in a twist, Galaxy. It's nothing. Just top earn and pays for dinner with all the extra dough. It's only fair. Trust me, it was much worse when we were a five-man flight. Enemies locking out with ordinance kill feed. I guess Monarch's buying tonight then. Target on the nose. Missile is tracking. Ground asset knocked out. Target down. Make sure to track your assigned targets.
I would say I'm all for paying dinner if it's as long as it's the cheap food.
Monarch ready to fire. Best arms on. Good spinning and good tone for weapons. Missile is on the way.
Alright, now that plane that's been shooting missiles at me. Where are you? There you are. And now you're gone. Moving right along. Hang on, we're coming. Missiles away.
Hitman 1 locked on. Engaging.
Come on. There we are. They're all gone. Ooh, what are you? You're a special target. So you get the special missiles.
Monarch, you've got a good lock.
And then we have the air cruisers to worry about. As well as a whole pile of stuff.
Hitman 1, in gun range. Fox 3.
No, I like them how the missiles. There are two air cruisers right in front of me, and the missiles targeted the farther one.
Fox 3.
Come on.
Hitman 1 locked on. You're on the money. Monarch missile on the way. Enemy on radar.
Get back here so I can shoot you. I think one of the missiles hit.
Cleared for guns. Enemy on radar.
Yeah, flares don't stop bullets. Of course, I'm no longer within range of the gun sight, so... Now you're dead. Okay, moving right along. That's not good. I'm losing friends.
Monarch opening fire.
That's a lot of ground targets.
Ground target destroyed. Monarch ready to fire. Monarch's been shot down.
As I fly into the very thing I was trying to avoid. Okay, so... there do seem to be a large number of very light targets, I want to say. So rather than taking the F-16 that I have been using, Let's actually go back to the F4-E. So I can take high-impact standard missiles, the 3-pack unguided bombs, and the MLAAs. That way I have a better mix of various weaponry, and it's a lot of stationary buildings that are closely packed together, so hopefully the 3-pack of bombs will spread out and hit everything. Of course, it does mean I don't have guided anti-ground weapons.
We've got alarms raising at every airbase within response range. You're on the clock, so make it snappy. Don't rush perfection, Galaxy. Especially when all you have to do is sit back and watch. Hey, babysitting is easy money. I'm not complaining.
All I need is 10 minutes of you, Monarch, and we're with Black for the week. Let's make the cash flow.
All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling. Anything and everything is free for the taking.
On the plus side, with the F4, Prez gets to come. I don't think she could do that with the F-16.
I'm engaging. We're getting reports from power plants up and down Cascadia. Small flights of aircraft slipping past our front line and hitting the geothermal industry.
Tom, look for stretching the front line so far. The leg will slip through it.
Hitman 1, ordinance away.
Alright, and those miss. And that practically drops on top of us. Let's see, how hard is it to target the closest thing? Make that radar sight go away. So make it gone. As we start taking fire from AA guns.
Heads up, QRF has arrived. Fast movers. Now it's a fight.
Cody, let's make some scratch. Turning to intercept.
I mean, I'm doing about as well as I did the last time.
Well, you're definitely causing the most chaos out of all of them. Council Squadron is pulled out after hitting their threshold, and Assassin is still on station. Other work pilots are also calling in some success.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go for gold.
Engaging. Start dropping the pressure on the conduits. If the tanks go off, we need to make sure we are cooking bombs. Monarch ready to fire.
If you want combat effective against air units, start evacuating. No need to get killed like this.
Monarch's gone off radar.
That's what I get for not paying attention. I realize, oh, I'm about to fly into a chimney as I'm flying into a chimney. Honestly, I think it went faster with the guided ground munitions. In fact, let's go with the SK-25U. Just so that way I can get the Mark II MLAG. No, let's also put on unguided rockets just for fun. Does mean I don't have any advanced anti-air munitions, but that's what standard missiles are for. I guess somebody else gets to take on the air cruisers. They won't get to take on the air cruisers because I'll try to fight them by myself. So let's see how this loadout does. I would like to point out, every time I failed this mission, it's because I've flown into something. Not because I've been overwhelmed and shot down.
We've got alarms raising at every airbase within response range. You're on the clock, so make it snappy. Don't rush perfection, Galaxy. Especially when all you have to do is sit back and watch. Hey, babysitting is easy money. I'm not complaining.
All I need is 10 minutes of you, Monarch, and we're flag for the week. Let's make the cash flow.
All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling. Anything and everything is free for the taking. Take them down.
This was a what?
Reports from powerplants up and down Cascadia. Small flights of aircraft slipping past our front line and hitting the geothermal industry.
Tell them what's touching the front line so far. The level slipped through.
The whole radio takes is kind of fun.
Cordium we're pumping inside of them costs more than what they're paying us. It's harder to create than it is to destroy. Hit me too. I'm on the way, crew. Ground unit destroyed.
That's not good. Just lost one of the mercenary pilots.
Heads up. QRF has arrived. Fast movers. Now it's a fight.
Copy. Let's make some scratch. Turn yours out. Galaxy, stand clear of the reins.
Well, you're definitely causing the most chaos out of all of them. Council Squadron is pulled out after hitting their threshold with an assassin.
That was ungood.
Other work pilots are also calling in some success.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go for gold.
That's the ground.
Start dropping the pressure on the conduits. If the tanks go off, we need to make sure we are cooking bombs.
If you want combat effective against their units, start evacuating. No need to get killed like this. Good shot!
Why are the rebels hitting their own resources?
Because we're using it right now.
Look at the guy that questions why we're attacking. And then like the smart person goes, because we're using them right now?
When we're under attack, 20-point lists are kinda hard to read while we're being bombed.
Missile away!
I do not like being this low. But it happens. Anyway, Air Force has arrived.
God dang it!
I see him. I see the mark. The rolls in that crowd.
Send it up the line. It's that HVT we've been hearing so much about.
Good stuff, Hitman. Operations up and down the fracture are reporting similar successes. Keep hammering them till we pull out.
The boosters and the neutralizer
There you are.
pipelines.
want to know what happened to the other two pilots? Probably not. In the meantime, let's make the rest of this go away.
Right on target.
For no other reason, so that way we can move on to the next area.
Ground unit knocked out.
On. Fine then, we pull out the knife. Why not?
Hitman 1, Fox 2.
There you go. Make all these go away.
Missile shot off.
Ground, avoid the ground, avoid the ground. And now we chase the rabbit. It was bad, so we'll wait till it's not. And you're gone. Alright, so next target. And the yellow plane is still alive. Alright, I think I'm actually out of range of the rockets. Now I wonder. I can use the unguided rockets to hit the air cruiser. It's a very bad idea. Now let's take out these SAM sites. That's actually a lot of missiles. Let's flare them and make them go away.
Monarch, the enemy's locking onto you.
Ground. Oh, then where are you? That actually missed.
Missile is on the way.
Get back here. And you're gone, finally. Now I think we left the second objective behind, are now flying over the third. All the extractors in the middle of the lava. Bad angle, I think, but it still works, so what do I care?
Hitman 1 confirmed.
Yeah, it's fairly easy. It's easier than to evade missiles than I guess they probably would be. Because I was flying in the wrong direction, I still avoided that missile. Should be a good angle, but they still miss. Let's try now. And they're gone. Alright, I have absolutely no idea where those next two missiles are firing, but they apparently hit their target, so I should not complain. Missiles away. Alright, I think those standard missiles actually hit something else, and that SAM site decided to shoot back. So, swing back around, fire off another pair, and it's gone. Oh wow, that's an entire flight of aircraft. And me without multi-lock anti-air.
Enemies locking on. Break.
Of course, you know, if they're just going to shoot directly at me, I will shoot directly at them. I'm surprised none of that actually hit. I should not complain. It's the ground. It's the ground. Where are you? I'm going to fly into the missile. Back here. Alright, so I don't know if this is the third objective or the second objective. Let's swing back around and try to, well, hit these things. I know. Let me guess, this won't hit the extractor. No, it will not. Okay. New plan's the same as the old plan. Where is that aircraft? There you are. He was falling around behind me, so I figured I'd take care of him before I try doing the crazy plan to hit the extractor. You really want to eject over a lava field? Well, I mean, I guess it's better than dying, but then again, it is over a lava field, so for all I know, you're dead anyway. Okay, so now we line up with the crazy. Is it? I'm gonna have to go for the other way. On account of, there's a mountain right by this other aperture. And what I want to do is, rather than fly through the thing, which is what the game probably wants, I'm going to point at the opening, have one of the long-range anti-ground missiles lock onto it, fire said missile, and then try to pull up before I have to fly through it. Of course, that means getting very far away, getting close to the ground, turning around, and firing. And that's a miss. Because I was not lined up with this thing. That's what I wanted to avoid. Somebody else is going to have to deal with the second one. Is there a second one still? I don't actually know. Anywho, onto this air cruiser. Everybody's locking onto me. What else is new? Let's just use flares because I don't think I could dodge. Swing back around to the air cruiser, and I'm not even targeting the air cruiser, am I? Come on. Fine, we'll just go unguided, which is what I think I'm using. And now it's gone. I don't even think I needed that second burst. Anywho. Where is that thing? Get back here. I mean, the angle's now bad, so... let's just fire off a whole bunch of
Good tone.
anti-ground missiles, just for fun. And angle was so bad, and now I have to deal with an incoming missile. Now he's too far away to get a lock on. No, he's not. Of course, they miss anyway, so... He has about as many flares as I do. And I have infinite number of flares, so that should say something. Anyway, angle should be better here. And it works. Oh, the yellow planes. I don't know if this is the same yellow planes as before, or different ones. Of course, I think that was actually the prop of a helicopter. So I guess yellow is rotary wing as opposed to fixed wing. We are moving. Clearly do not know how to avoid a missile.
Don't mind up.
Alright, and I think that's actually it for the
Ground asset knocked out.
standard MLH. No, I guess I have 3 more missiles. That's the ground.
Missile away.
Good tone.
Positive tone. Ground asset destroyed.
Now I'm out of standard MLHs.
Ground unit knocked out.
Mission update.
Crimson Squadron's on station. AWACS, this is them. The mercenaries. Affirmative. Drive these mercenaries out of the airspace, Crimson One. Roger, tally ho. Let's chase these dogs off.
So, are we running away now? Because Crimson Team has just showed up. All 8 of them. And last time I checked,
ID on these hostiles. We've got them pegged as Cascadia's Federation peacekeepers.
Ah, freaking knew it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, nope, I'm a Winchester anyway. Let's go.
we leaving? Cross the blue line north. So I need to get past that blue line, or I guess kill them all.
Tagging pursuit. My lead.
Let's be stupid.
Peacekeepers.
Okay, that's a hit. I'm guessing everybody else fled. Which is what I should probably do. Because there's just too many missiles flying around. I can't dodge and fight them at the same time. I mean, if I could hit them.
Enemy locking on! Break!
Crimson 1, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, engagement with Team Crimson is not advisable. I gathered that. Especially considering I'm fairly certain he just did a pull to 180.
Box 2, this one's different. Perhaps. Stay focused.
Alright, I'm now pointing away from where I need to go.
Turn and fail! Cowards!
Don't get cocky. Going down, it's time to lash out. I'm engaging. Onward, you got a good block.
One had a target lock. Still missed.
Moving to engage.
Alright, I'm almost at the blue line.
Take care of this one. Light him up. Crimson 1, be advised if you know any movement, you will not have enough fuel to RTB. Fine. All Crimson elements in pursuit. Push for our waypoint. Crimson 1, are you all right, sir?
Now, I wonder if anybody's actually managed to take all of them out this mission.
Next time.
As I fly into a cloud.
Almost too close, guys. RTB, you and the boss are going to have a chat with Stardust.
Alright, I like how the mission just cut him off mid-sentence.
Hitman team, your efforts in this operation was certainly commendable, if not by my mark, but the fact you garnered attention from the peacekeepers.
Peacekeeping squadrons are called in by the Federation to absolutely lock down a nation from the sky. They are usually made up of decorated pilots and Federation devotees. Additionally, Crimson Squadron is the peacekeeping squadron specifically made to watch Cascadia. Their leader, Crimson 1, has become something of a poster boy for the Federation Air Force, and it's not without merit. He's what many consider to be the top ace in the world, and we can only hope that their arrival in the country doesn't disrupt further operations. In any case, Sicario's strike against the geothermal facilities in the country, coinciding with similar efforts theater-wide, has hastened the Federation offensive, buying us time to reorganize and plan for the war forward.
Let's not waste this.
So if it's made them step up their timetable, how does that give us time to rebuild? Alright, so I had hoped to play 2 missions, but that mission took quite a bit of time. Of course, it didn't help the fact that I got, well, taken out 3 times. And to be fair, they didn't actually land a killing blow. I flew into things. But given how long that took, I'm going to have to save the next mission for another time and call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.